What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Poker Assault from Cryptozoic. This is for 2 to 4 players. Age is 10 plus. It'll take about 15 to 25 minutes to play. And Poker Assault was actually one of my most anticipated games of Gen Con that I was really excited to check out. I absolutely love poker. And I was reading about this, and it said poker with asymmetrical abilities, and I was like, whoa! I like the theme. You got aliens going against vampires, going against werewolves. It tries to keep poker at its foundation while mixing a whole bunch of gameriness in there, but does it succeed? Let's open it up, and I'll tell you what I think about it. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Poker Assault. So first and foremost, we're going to handy dandy rule booklet, 15 pages, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples, and it's pretty well done. It should have you up and running in no time at all. So big thumbs up on the rule booklet. Before we get started, I do want to mention that I'm going to be showing you how the 2-player version of the game works. There's also a 3- and 4-player version of the game. 4-player is also very similar, except you're going to be taking turns since it's a team version of the game. 3-player version of the game is definitely a little bit different because you're going to have one person attacking and both players defending. It changes everything up, but I'll talk more about that in the pros and the cons. So in Poker Assault, you're going to be taking one of these decks of cards. So there's 52 cards in the deck. You could play, regular cards with this. It's got aces, hearts, diamonds, sixes, fives, spades, clubs. It's just a regular deck of cards if you want it to be a regular deck of cards. But along the way, you're going to see that there's assault cards and there's going to be defend cards. These will be special ability cards that you'll be able to utilize when you are either trying to assault your opponent or defend yourself when your opponent's trying to assault you. And we'll show you how that works a little bit later. Next, you're going to get these 10, you're going to get all these chips. Each player is going to get 10 of these chips, and these are going to be your health points in this game. Also, these are not plastic, they are cardboard, so I did want to mention that as well. Each player is also going to get a handy dandy little cheat sheet card telling you about the different combinations of cards that you can put together, because this game is heavily grounded in poker and trying to make poker hands. So we're not getting into the power cards yet. We'll talk a little bit about that later. We'll just get into a little game and you'll see exactly how this works. So in Poker Assault, one person is going to be on offense and one person is going to be on defense. One person is on assault, one person is defending. So you'll start off the game picking out which deck of cards you want. Each deck of cards will play very differently. I want to mention that now. This game is very asymmetrical. Wolfpack, all about attacking. They're just going to be trying to bring the pain to you and bring it to you fast. They want to be on offense. Vampire Court has a lot of really cool special abilities that will have them sucking blood, aka gaining back these poker chips. So they might attack you and then also gain chips. So it's a big poker chip point swing there. Next, you have the Invaders, my favorite deck without a doubt. They are just wild cards. They do all sorts of crazy game-breaking things. They might be stealing people's cards or creating new suits and creating new poker hands. They do lots of really neat stuff. And then Rocket Patrol, who has one of the most useful special abilities where when they attack, if they use certain cards, they can do immediate damage to other people. Normally, you have a chance to defend against damage, not with the Rocket Patrol. Those, you got to be careful when playing against that Rocket Patrol. But let's start up this game. So each player is going to have 10 of these chips right here, and each player is going to draw up to 5 cards. This is one of the big rules of the game. You will always, always, always have 5 cards in your hand. So as soon as you play a card, either when you're on offense or on defense, you're going to immediately draw up to 5 cards. We're going to set aside these power cards. We'll show you how those work in a minute, but let's go ahead and do this, show you how it works. So Wolfpack will start on offense, kind of fits them as well. And we're going to take a look at our hand. This is a fantastic hand to start with. So how this works is you're going to play down 1 card at a time trying to make one of these hands. Now the rule is none of the cards you play down here cannot be a part of the hand. So for instance, if you made 1 pair, you are only going to have 2 cards down here. You couldn't have king, king, 4. That would be a null and void hand. You just could not do that. For instance, 2 pair, always going to be just 2 pair, nothing else. Straights, flush, same thing. They're always going to be exactly that with no, I think they use the word extraneous cards. You're going to play down your cards 1 at a time. So right now, this is a pretty obvious thing we're going to be doing here, even though we'll take a look at this assault card. When this card hits an enemy, it deals 1 additional damage to that enemy, because that's great, but not in this particular hand. So we'll start off, and we will play play our 8 first. Why not? So we immediately draw up to a new card, play our 8 once again, immediately draw up to a new card. And as much as I'd like to hold on to those queens and play a different pair, we're going to play our queens. We're going to be sending 2 pair at them. And we're hoping to draw another 8 or another queen because that would give us a boat, a full house. That is not the case. So we have successfully launched our assault. 8, 8, queen, queen. There are no special cards right here. So now we'll take a look at this card and we'll see, ooh, do we earn ourselves a power card? Because we talked a little bit about the power cards earlier, you only gain those if you make good hands like flushes, straights, full houses, 4 of a kind, straight flush, so on and so forth. And when you do that, you get to draw one of these cards, which we'll show you a little bit later, and they have really cool special abilities. So let's take a look and I'll show you how defense works. So we have 5 cards over here on the vampire court. So how does defending this work? You would assume that you have to have a better poker hand than 2 pair. No, not in this game. You're actually going to be defending it by defending the cards individually. How you do that is you are either going to defend it by playing a card that is exactly the same rank. So you could block this card with the queen, or this card with the queen, or this card with an 8, or this card with an 8, or by playing a card that is the same suit but higher. So for instance, to block this card, we could either play a queen of anything, queen of hearts, queen of diamonds, doesn't matter, or a king of spades or an ace of spades. So the higher cards you play, wow, that's a really bad hand to start off with. So unfortunately, we would not be able to block anything right now because we don't have any high cards, we don't have any queens, we don't have any 8s. So all 4 of these cards would do damage, which means we would lose 4 of our poker chips that we had of the 10 we had. So let's just pretend we start off with 10. We would have just lost 4 poker chips. All these cards get discarded. Now, I also have an option here. Since I took all the damage there and I didn't defend myself, I can do what's called a gimme. I think it's called the gimme, where I discard all my cards and draw 5 new cards. I feel like that's a really good idea. Now, you might say, yeah, but you had a pretty good hand that you could have made right there. You know, you had a pair of 7s already. But here's the thing. If someone wins an attack and they assault you, they continue to assault you until you defend the attack. So once again, the wolf pack is back on offense. Let's run another hand and see what we're doing. Oh, look at that. 4 diamonds. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. But we're also going to keep our options open. You never know. So we'll play the 10 of diamonds right there. We will play the jack of diamonds right there. So right now we could be going for a straight. We could be going for a flush. We'll keep that same thing up. We play the 7 of diamonds right here. So we're looking for a diamond, an 8, or a 9. Most likely we want to... Ooh, that actually... Ooh, yeah, so we have ourselves a flush. So we'll place our 5 right here. We'll place our 2 right there. And actually, we should have drawn back up as soon as we did it. And we have launched a flush at someone, which is great. This means we get to draw 1 power card. So let's draw a power card and let's see what it does. Their power cards are not nearly as fun as everybody else's because they're all about attacking, but we'll talk more about the power cards later. So Secret Assault, attach this to one of your cards. That card is a lunatic during this assault. A lunatic must be defended against an additional time or else it still hits. So this would be face down because it says secret. And later on in the game, when we want to play this, we can make it so that they have to defend against a guard twice. So if you have like an ace out there, that's a good time to do it. So let's spread this out and let's see. Oh, it's not looking good for the vampire court already. Let's see how this works out. So we do have a 5, so we can just take this 5 and boom, we have successfully blocked a 5. That's a good start. Let's see. Oh, we got a 2 right there. So yeah, let's go ahead and just block that 2. Boom, we blocked a 2. So worst case scenario, we're going to take 4 damage because actually this card is going to hit twice if it hits. So we really want to cancel out that 7 as well. Knowing that we really want to cancel out that 7, we're probably going to use one of these kings or queen, and we're going to use it right here to block out this 7 because it's a higher number. Oh, this is perfect. So then we play this 10 right here. It's an assault card, which stinks because it doesn't do anything. We're on defense, but it's more important to block out this 10. And then we'd also block out this king, which is defense. When you fully defend against assault, you may put this card into your hand after the assault instead of discarding it. If you do, discard a card from your hand. So that's great. So we block that. We draw a new card. And then we can put this card back in our hand if we choose to, which honestly, I don't think we would choose to at this point. All these cards get put into our respective discard piles. And now, since we successfully defended against attack, we would go ahead and be on the offense. So we might, in this case scenario, we might play the Jack Queen first, hoping to hit a 10 or more hearts. But anywho, we're not going to go through that. Let's go through these power cards because these power cards are delicious. So the power cards, you're going to have 4 different sets of power cards. And I talked a little bit about it earlier, but I'll just show you a couple of them. So let's do the invaders. They're some of my favorites. New assault type, 1 of each suit. This is going to give them an extra poker hand they'll be able to create. You may prepare and launch assaults that have exactly 1 card of each suit, which is great. So you could just send 4 different suits at somebody, and that's going to be an attack. New assault type, ace or high cards. So you can just send 1 card at somebody. So you're always going to be sending something. Secret assault. Attach this to one of your cards. That card is a menacer. During this assault, menacers must be defended against before other cards can be defended against. So this means you have to deal with this card before you deal with anything else. They do some really fun stuff. Let's take a look at some of the vampire cards. They're all about sucking blood. New assault type, unlimited flush. You can prepare and launch assaults that have 6 or more cards with the same suit. So if you go flush crazy, you can go really flush crazy and do a lot of damage. Unbalanced breakfast. Play only when preparing an assault. Discard this. You may prepare and launch a flush this turn that has only 4 cards. So that's great. So you might be close to getting a flush, and you might be like, I can't make it. You got this card. You can do a 4-card flush. Feeding friendly. Discard this and gain 3 chips. Pretty self-explanatory. You draw this card, you're going to heal 3. That's pretty cool. When this card is revealed, each enemy discards a card from his or her hand. Each enemy's hand side is reduced by 1. That's big! When an enemy launches an assault, discard this card and each enemy refills his or her hand. And we'll look at the Rocket Patrol, because they got some cool cards too. Return fire. When you fully defense against an assault, deal 1 damage to the enemy who launched the assault. They never see this one coming. That's a great one. Unlimited pairs. You can prepare and launch assaults that have 3 or more pairs. We actually saw 4 pair happen with this one. That's a pretty fun card as well. Your 2 pair assaults count as power assaults. That's really useful. That means you're going to be drawing more of these cards. Defense. Enemies can't press the assault. Discard this card when an enemy launches a power assault. So very cool stuff. Anywho, you're going to continue to go till someone has completely lost all of their poker chips, at which point they will be the loser of the game. The other player will be the winner of the game. And that, in a nutshell, is how Poker Assault is played. Alrighty then, Poker Assault from Cryptozoic. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, the game's not going to be for everybody for a couple different reasons. 2 to 4 players, very restricted player count. Also, 3 players just felt a little bit weird to me. I didn't like quite how 3 players worked. Now, with that being said, it wasn't a bad game, but I still liked it better at 2 and 4 players, especially 4 players with the team game. I like that quite a good deal. Now, speaking on strictly behalf of the 4-player game, I feel like they should have 2 attack tokens to let you know which of the teammates is on attack, because sometimes you'll forget about who's on attack and who's not on attack. It's a minor nitpick, but it is something that I did want to mention. Also, another thing that I want to mention is that graphic design-wise, I wish they would have just used hearts and diamonds and regular spades and regular clubs instead of trying to make it look, all werewolfy and vampire-y and alien-y, because sometimes you'll be like, wait, is that a spade or is that a club? I can't really tell, and you'll have to look at it a little bit closer. It's another minor nitpick, but it is something that I did want to mention. Another comment I have with this game is that I wish it was a little bit longer, and I do like playing with it where you actually get to play with more poker chips, so you get to see more of the cool asymmetrical abilities that you have, especially with the power cards. But I understand they wanted to keep the game short and sweet at the 15 to 25 minute time length, but as a variation, I do like playing it a little bit longer, maybe going 15 to 20 poker chips for each player. Last comment I have with the game is that I want more. I already want more. This is actually kind of a pro, but there's 4 very different asymmetrical decks, and I want more. I want expansions. I want 4 more, but that really is on the pros. So any other cons that I have with the game? If you're not familiar with poker hands, it might be a little bit confusing to you, and some of the rules just feel a little bit odd, especially if you don't quite understand them. Like the fact that you can never have extra cards out there. Like you can never just have 5, 5, 6, 8. Like that just is not possible. So people have to wrap their brain around that at first. And if people are very familiar with poker or not very familiar at poker, that might throw them off just a little bit. But honestly, that's more of a nitpick than anything as well. Because moving on to the pros, I was very pleasantly surprised with Poker Assault. I looked at it, I thought it sounded cool, but I was like, I just don't know how this is going to work, and I am very excited to say that it does. It works really, really well, and so there's quite a few things that I like about this game. First and foremost, asymmetrical. Man, this is asymmetrical. You're going to play this at a bare minimum 4 times if you enjoy the game, because you're going to want to try out each of the decks. Now, that being said, my favorite deck is definitely the Invaders, followed secondly by the Rocket Patrol, followed by the Vampires, followed by the Wolf Pack. The Wolf Pack is just, I don't know, they're a little bit boring because they're just attack, 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 whereas everybody else has like cool special abilities, but I feel like they're decently well balanced, which I did like as well. Component-wise, the cards are nice. You know, I wish the poker chips were plastic, but you can honestly just replace it with plastic poker chips. It's not a huge deal, and it probably would have raised the price of the game quite a good deal. The game is simple. It is very simple. Once you understand how to play, it's just boom, 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 boom. Like, your turn is like, I'm going to play this 5, I'm going to play this 6, I'm going to play this 7, I'm going to play this 4, I'm going to play, oh, crap, my turn's up. Now it's your turn. All right, I'm going to play this ace, I'm going to play this ace. King, king, and then 2 pairs. So then you're going to do it on defense, and then if I defend it, I am on offense, and if I lose, I'm going to take the damage, and then you're going to rinse, wash, and repeat. Like, once you know how to play this game, it goes by very, very quickly, which I really like. That's how you get the 15 to 25 minutes, because honestly, I played this with somebody who already knew how to play it, and it was just boom, 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 boom. Game over. It can go very quickly, especially when you're playing to 10 points, which is a good thing. The box is compact. I like the artwork. Aside from the one graphic design quibble with how I wish the suits looked regular, the graphic design work is nice, the rule booklet's nice, and I think if you like poker, this has enough poker in it to really keep you interested in the game. But that being said, there's enough gameriness in here to really attract people who are not into poker. So overall, I really enjoyed Poker Assault. But honestly, I felt like this game was kind of tailor-made for me. I love poker. I love asymmetrical games. I love board games and strategy games. This just brings that all together, and it definitely is a hit for me. This is one that's going to go on my shelf, and I hope it gets popular enough that I can see more decks of cards and potentially even deck building in the future. Ooh, that would be cool as well. So Poker Assault from Cryptozoic, definitely can recommend this one if you routinely hit 2 to 4 players. I liked it at 2, I liked it at 4. I was ho-hum on it at 3, even though it was still a decent game. Poker Assault from Cryptozoic. This is a very interesting game that I do recommend you go check out if you like poker, if you like asymmetrical, or if you routinely hit or looking for a 2-player game. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know if you play poker. What is that one hand that you always call on no matter what, even if it's not the best hand? For me personally, that is 6-9 suited. I like to call it Afternoon Delight, because when it hits, nobody ever sees it coming. I always try and sneak in there pre-flop and play with 6-9 suited, because it's just, you got flush draws, you got straight draws, and you normally can get out very easily with that hand. But let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite hand that's a little bit out there? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.